This video is brought to you by Manta Sleep. Our partners over at Manta Sleep are allowing you to put in promo code JKBogan to get 10% off your Manta Sleep purchase. These are blackout sleep masks, and if you're having a hard time sleeping, definitely makes sense to invest in one of these. They have all sorts of them. They have a weighted sleep mask. They have a cool. They have a steam. They have a sound mask that connects to your phone so you can actually hear music and listen to podcasts. They have a pro mask, a regular mask, and of course a silk mask. Again, you can go to Manta Sleep and use promo code JKBogan and get 10% off your purchase. Now back to the video. So a long time ago, before the Rams acquired Jimmy Garoppolo, they were outbid to acquire Sam Howell. We're going to dive into this report. Before we get into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogan. Now let's dive in. So Mike Garafolo of NFL Network went on a podcast called the Puck Sports Podcast and had this to say about this whole situation. Quote, the Seahawks outbid the Rams, who I know that there was a strong feeling on the Rams coaching staff that they wanted Sam Howell badly. They really liked him, so the Seahawks were able to outbid them. So that's good. You got him. You also kept him away from a team that could really have used him as a potential successor. So this is interesting. Howell, of course, ended up landing with the Seahawks. With him, the Seahawks ended up getting a 4th and 6th round pick, 102 and 179. In exchange, they gave away a 3rd round pick and a 5th round pick, and that's really that. So essentially, it's a pick swap, a 3rd and a 5th. You get Howell and a 4th and a 6th, and then you give up a 3rd and a 5th. So it wasn't a huge deal. Howell gives you, I think 2 years of control. He was, I believe, a 3rd rounder. So, look, you're not going to get the 5th year option. Howell last year almost threw for 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. He was sacked a league high 65 times. He finished 12th in passing yards and 15th in touchdown passes, despite playing from, arguably the worst offensive line in the NFL. Now, let's talk about it, because a lot of people are asking me to make a video on this. Like, hey, Jake, what does this mean? Does this mean that, I'm a big fan of the idea of the Rams going out and getting a quarterback in the draft? Does this mean they'll draft one? Hold your horses there. I don't necessarily think it means they're going to draft one, because this is important. Okay, this came out the 14th of March is when this trade was made. Okay, so remember that date, because the Rams, about 5 days later, signed Jimmy Garoppolo. So, look, Jimmy Garoppolo sounds like he was the option, and I don't even look at him as a backup option here. I think they didn't realize that Howell was going to be available. And to be honest with you, I didn't realize Howell was going to be available. I thought for sure the Commanders would hang on to him and draft his successor, but give him an opportunity in camp to work for a backup job. I did not suspect Howell to get traded away. I definitely didn't suspect him to get traded away to Seattle. That is somebody who could end up being the successor to Geno Smith. I don't know if I necessarily agree, and I understand his point, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with Garafolo that he was going to be, or he could have been, the potential successor to Matthew Stafford. I'm not as high on Howell. I like him. I don't love him. And to me, I don't think the Rams would be looking at him to be a successor. I think he's somebody who could be a spot starter, maybe be like a Case Keenum when he was coming out of Houston. How he played, started some games for the Texans before he ended up being a starter for the Rams. I could see him like that. I don't see him as a franchise quarterback. I see him as a good spot starter, well received, good leader, just a really good option to be your backup, but you probably wouldn't want starting if you're trying to win a Super Bowl, so to speak. That's no knock on him, and he is 23 years old, so a lot can change. But I actually don't hate that they passed this up, and here's why. I don't No, actually, I do know. I would not have wanted to make that deal. So looking at it, for Howell, you would have gotten a 4th and a 6th. So the Rams would have gotten a 4th round pick, a 102 and 179. Okay, that's what they would have received. So because of this, I know they have a 99th pick in the 3rd round. That is not what would have gone to Washington if they were doing this exact trade. It would be 83rd. Okay. In addition to that, you're trading away a 5th round pick. So one of the 154 to 155 range. Could it have been done? Yes. I preferred just staying pat here. It's interesting to know that they had like interest in Howell. It's very interesting. It's something that kind of sticks out. Like, damn, I didn't realize that. What I find funny is I don't think he played particularly well against the Rams. As a matter of fact, I seem to remember Jacoby Brissett coming in and starting this crazy rally at the end of the game to make it a game. I don't remember Howell having that good of a game, and he didn't, is my point. So with that said, I'm not upset about this. I don't think Seattle got somebody that is going to be such a problem for years to come. Now, we could go back and look at this video in 3-4 years and laugh at it. If it happens, I just don't see it happening. Jimmy Garoppolo is a 1-year guy. I think Howell would have offered him more than 1 year, so that's kind of cool. But at the same time, it's just, I don't think he's somebody that really moves the needle. So I'm not going to sit here and sulk about it. I think he's a good player. I actually agree with the Rams not going above whatever they asked because they got outbid. Seattle offered more, clearly. So, you know, that's fine the way that is. I'm very curious, and I'll be doing a what if episode on this. I'm very curious to see what would happen if Matthew Stafford were to retire after this season. I don't see it happening, but what ifs are not something I 100% see happening, right? What ifs are just bringing up scenarios and, you know, adding thought-provoking content to your day. So that's the whole point of a what if video. Because I know there are people, a ton of people were freaking out at me because, you know, the Rams trading up to get Marvin Harrison Jr. video. And I'm like, look, this is a what if video. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying I could see it, but I'm not saying it's 100% going to happen. That's the whole point of the what if. It's content, it's entertainment, but it's also thought-provoking. It makes you go, what if, you know? So with that said, Howell, end of the day, Rams made the right decision. Now, to answer again, to really drive home the point, I don't think this means the Rams are in the market to draft a quarterback. I absolutely would not be shocked if they drafted a guy like, say, Jordan Travis in the middle of the draft. I wouldn't be shocked if they draft Spencer Rattler. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if they drafted, you know, one of the top quarterbacks that fall into the second round, if that's Penix, if that's Nix. I don't see them taking a first-round quarterback. And here's the thing. Actions speak louder than words. What did the Rams do this offseason? They showed a lot of interest in building around Matthew Stafford. They got 2 offensive linemen. They got a tight end. I know they brought back one of the offensive linemen, but you get my point. And really, they brought back 3. They brought back 2 and they added 1. So 3 offensive linemen, a tight end. They brought back a wide receiver. They added another wide receiver. So really, the vibes that I'm getting are that, look, you know, they really like what they have in Stafford and they believe in Stafford and they have every reason to. He's the best quarterback currently in the NFC. So the way I see it is this: if you're trying to win a Super Bowl in this limited time frame, you're going to focus on the here and now and trying to build around him rather than going and looking into the future and saying, wow, we probably should draft a quarterback now. I think it's too early. I've said that before, and I don't think their interest in Howell had anything to do with their interest in a draft pick. I think really what it comes down to is this was before Jimmy Garoppolo. It came up. They were interested finding out that it came up, and then Jimmy Garoppolo is your pivot option, who probably was your option anyway. So those are my thoughts. Do I expect them to draft a quarterback at any point in this draft? No. Would I be surprised? Not really either. So we'll see what ends up happening. But that's going to do it. If you're bummed about losing Howell, or you don't care or want to make your voice known, be sure to drop a comment. Also, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and follow me on all social media at JK Bogan. If you guys could do me a quick favor before you head on out of here and you did all that, just be sure, if you're into the NFL, and I mean this goes beyond just the Rams, you want content, you like how I do content, and you want it to be more NFL centric, well, I made a new channel. It's JENFL, and it's right on the channel page, my channel page. It's right in the other channels tab. In addition to that, it's going to be like linked in the description, the comment section. I'm really trying to drive traffic to that. Reason being is I always wanted to make NFL content, but at the same time, I want to do right by you guys. If you're watching this, you're probably a Rams fan, a Seahawks fan, or a Commanders fan. That's just probably the nature of it. If that's the case, more than likely you are a Rams fan. And if you're a Rams fan, this is predominantly a Rams channel. I'm trying to keep it that way. As you can see, I've moved a lot of different things to different channels because I want to keep this Rams centric. So with that said, would really appreciate it if you want to check that out. Link is in the description, the comments section. But until next time, guys, I'll see you guys soon. Later, folks. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.